My name is Jay Oza. I coach people who have to give high stakes speech so that they can perform and win. Whether it's one on one in a job interview, or in a business meeting in front of a small group, or giving a speech in front of a large audience. I've been currently writing a book on public speaking that I've tentatively titled You Are How You Speak. And one of the things I want to talk about is the ultimate challenge. So in the book, I have all kinds of challenge. One of them I call it the 330 challenge, where you record 3-minute videos for 30 straight days so that speaking becomes a habit and you're not, you know, frightened when you have to give a speech in any occasion. It's a way to get the fear out. Well, you can really never get the fear out, but it's a way to get comfortable of giving a speech. So you know exactly what you sound like, what you look like, and you know how passionate you are when you're speaking. A lot of people have no clue. So these are some of the challenges that I have. And I'm currently writing the last chapter, which is, let's say you go through all the steps that I outlined in the book. And the question is, okay, where do you go from there? What do you do? Okay, I've gone through all the steps. So I thought about this and I came up with something I call the ultimate challenge. Now, you don't have to go through the entire 10 steps in my book, but the first 3 steps are pretty straightforward, which are you record a goals video, you take the Coursera's free public speaking course, which takes about 10 weeks, and then you do the 330 challenge, which is you record 3-minute videos for 30 straight days. And that, I consider, if you do all 3 of those steps, I consider you a good speaker. Because when you take the Coursera course, you do have to record 4 speeches, which are introductory speech, impromptu, informative, and persuasive. Now, let me just tell you, this sounds pretty straightforward, but it does take up a lot of time. And it'll take you 90 days to get through it if you are really dedicated and focused. Okay, so let's say you did that. And then the question is, well, what do I do now? Okay, so here's the challenge. And I'm calling this the ultimate challenge. And here's how it works. Pick a subject. First thing, you pick a subject. Anything you want, whether it's, make it narrow. So, for example, let's say in my case I like sports. I'll pick golf. Okay, so I'll pick golf. You can pick anything. You can pick innovation in education, innovation in elementary school, innovation education in high school, innovation education in college, etc. So you get the idea. Get it as narrow as you can, okay? Not too narrow, but just enough that there's enough material out there. Then here's what I would do, the next step. So let's say you got the subject. The next thing is pick 3 books on that subject, specific subject that you have picked. 3 books, no more than 3. 3 is enough. You know, people say 5 books and all that. No, 3 is enough for this particular challenge. And read those books. But so that's the third step. Read the books. Obviously, once you purchase the books, that could be an ebook, it could be a hardcover. It's up to you, okay? Or you can even get it from the library or borrow it from a friend. I'll leave that up to you. So that's the third step, right? So first step again is pick a subject. Second step is purchase 3 books on that subject, or get 3 books on that subject. Third step, obviously, is to read those 3 books. Okay, now we move to the fourth step. The fourth step is, while you're reading the book, because it's going to take you a while to read these books, you start writing blogs on the topic that you come across. And believe me, you will. And I would say write between 10 to 25 blogs. It's a lot, but it's not that much. Let's say this could be 1,000 words minimum. And in 1,000 words a day, let's say, or 2 days, depending on how long it takes. You want to try to complete this in a month, let's say, okay? You should be able to complete this exercise in a month. So let's put a time limit to this, 1 month. And try to come up between 10 to 25 blogs. And the reason for that is that when you're writing, you clarify your thinking. And 10 to 25 blogs should be enough. I'll give you an example. This famous book by Simon Sinek called Start With Why. I did exactly that. And I don't even think I read the entire book when I did this, but I came up with at least 5 blogs on that book, just reading it. And at that point, I stopped, but I could have continued. But if you're reading 3 books, what I suggest is come up with between 10 to 25 blogs. That should be enough. Okay. While you're also writing these blogs, create between 3 to 5 minute short videos. So turn the writing, because now you know exactly what you're thinking, and you turn your thinking into writing. Now turn that writing into speaking. So the fourth, some of these are like kind of iterative in a loop here, right? They're kind of going back and forth. You're doing it, right? While you're reading, you're writing a blog and you're recording a speech like that. So you're in a loop here till you finish the book. So turn those blogs, the one that you're interested, and turn them into 3 to 5 minute video, recorded video, okay? So that would be like the 5th step. At some point, you will have between 10 to 25 blogs and possibly, let's say 10, minimum 10. The number is up to you. 10 3 to 5 minute videos on this particular subject where you purchased 3 books and you read it. Okay. Before I go on, let me just give you my theory on why just 3 books. I have this theory that I use. And there are people out there say just do one thing, and that's fine. But I have this theory called the 6th principle that I call 60-30-10. The first book you read should cover 60%, give you 60% of that knowledge about that subject. Okay, it may vary, but that's what I would expect, to minimum 60%. The second book should fill in the 30% more that wasn't in that book. And then the third book will give you 10% more. And after that, if you get more books, all it'll do is repeat things that you already read in the first 3 books. There is no further utility you get from reading more books, unless you just want to show that I read more books for whatever reason, unless you're working on a PhD dissertation, then it may make sense. But for this ultimate challenge, 3 books is sufficient in my opinion. Okay, so now you've got this video. At some point, let's say in 3 weeks, let's say I give 1 week for each book, so you're talking about 3 weeks to complete all 3 books, and now you got the last week, and you've also been writing blogs and recording the videos. So now what do? You have 1 week left. Okay, this is where you take your videos and you develop 2 speeches. 2. One, an 18-minute TED-like talk. Okay, so that's an 18-minute TED-like talk. And the second one is a 45-minute Google-like talk, where you pretend like you're at Google. You're giving a Google talk in front of Googlers, I guess. That's what they call themselves. And then 15 minutes of Q&A. And this is what you're going to record. Okay. Believe me, if you do this, you are going to know this subject well. You're going to become much smarter than before about this particular subject. And if you post it on YouTube, you're going to be viewed as an authority on this subject. Okay? Believe me, this will happen because I don't see that many people out there doing this. I've done this once, that's it. So I'm just telling you, this is pretty raw, okay? This is not something where I can say, well, I've done it so many times. No, I haven't done it. Because it does take time. You're going to devote 1 month to it, but it's why it's called the ultimate challenge. It's so ultimate that I've only done it once as of this recording. And then what I want you to do is, after you record it, you're feeling comfortable, and then you're going to be doing some rehearsing and all that before you record it and post it on YouTube. Then try to give it live to people. Go to people and say, listen, I have this speech. I'd like to come and give it live to some organizations, schools, whatever, and because you're going to know a lot about this subject. This is a subject you're interested in. You've read 3 books. You've given speech. You organized your material, your thinking, and you condense it into 2 speeches, a TED-like 18-minute talk and a 45-minute talk. So depending on how much time somebody is willing to give you, you can go in there and give a 15 to 18-minute talk, or if they have allocated an hour where they have time, and there are places that want to know about this subject, you can go in there and give a 40 to 45-minute talk and do a Q&A for the remainder of an hour, and you can finish it in 1 hour. So this is what I'm calling my ultimate challenge. And if you get to this point, if you do one or two of these or three of these, believe me, you have reached probably the highest level you probably can. Beyond that, then you're really getting into just immersed in that one topic. Okay? Here you don't need to be an expert because you only are doing this for 1 month, but you're going to be viewed as an expert because you will be presenting the subject like you're an expert. So try this. Let me know what you think. And thank you for watching, and I hope you actually take this challenge. That's why I'm calling this the ultimate challenge. And I'm actually in the process of finding 3 books to start my ultimate challenge. So let me know if you're starting your ultimate challenge, and maybe we can work together. And one more thing I forgot to mention in this, it does help if you find a learning buddy. And if you can find somebody who's willing to do this with you, then it's even better. So try this, it works, and I'm going to find my buddy right now and see if we can do this learning this ultimate challenge together. Thank you for watching.